He stood at the edge of the road, watching people pass by. Cars moved fast. People walked with purpose, and everyone seemed to know where they were going except him. At just 19 years old, he felt completely lost, with no direction, no clear dream, and no confidence. His name was Yusuf, and if you saw him that day, you would never imagine that one simple decision was about to change his life forever. Yusuf grew up in a small neighborhood, the kind of place where dreams felt too big and opportunities felt too far away. His father worked long hours every day, coming home tired and silent, while his mother did everything she could to hold the family together. She always encouraged him, even when he stopped believing in himself. But life was not easy. Money was always a problem. Stress was always present. And slowly, Yusuf became someone who stopped trying. In school, Yusuf was never the best. He struggled to focus, failed many exams, and eventually lost interest completely. At first, he tried to improve, but when failure kept coming again and again, he gave up. Teachers stopped paying attention to him, and his friends moved ahead, talking about their bright futures, while he remained behind, feeling smaller every single day. Over time, a dangerous belief grew inside his mind, that he was not good enough. After leaving school, life became even harder. His days had no purpose. He woke up late, spent hours scrolling on his phone, and watched other people succeed while he stayed in the same place. Every night, he felt a quiet pain deep inside his chest, a heavy feeling of regret. It wasn't loud, but it was always there, reminding him that he was wasting his life, even though he didn't know how to change it. One evening, his father came home more tired than usual. He sat down slowly and looked at Yusuf without saying a word. That silence spoke louder than anything. It wasn't anger, it was disappointment. And that look hurt Yusuf more than any harsh words ever could. That night, Yusuf couldn't sleep. He lay awake, staring at the ceiling, thinking about his life. Hours passed in silence until he finally got up and walked to the mirror. For the first time in a long time, he truly looked at himself. He didn't like what he saw, not because of his appearance, but because of the person he had become. Someone who quit too easily, someone who made excuses, someone who was afraid to try. In that quiet moment, something inside him shifted. He took a deep breath and made a decision. It was not a big decision, not something dramatic, but it was powerful. He told himself, tomorrow, I will start. Not next week, not next month, tomorrow. The next morning, for the first time in a long time, Yusuf woke up early. The sun had just begun to rise, and the world was still quiet. It felt different. He didn't have a perfect plan, and he didn't know exactly what to do, but he started anyway. He cleaned his room, organized his space, and stepped outside with a new mindset. That day, he made another small decision to learn something new. He didn't aim to be perfect. He just wanted to improve, even if it was a little bit. The first few days were difficult. His mind kept telling him to stop, that it was pointless, that he would fail again. But this time, he didn't listen. Day after day, Yusuf kept showing up, even when he felt tired, even when he had no motivation, even when no one noticed. Weeks passed, and slowly, he began to improve. It wasn't fast, but it was enough to see progress. And with that progress, his confidence slowly started to grow. People around him began to notice the change. They saw that he was more focused, more serious, more determined. But Yusuf didn't let that distract him. He knew he still had a long way to go. One day, he came across a small opportunity. It wasn't something big or exciting. In fact, most people ignored it. They said it wasn't worth their time. But Yusuf remembered his decision, the promise he made to himself to keep trying. So he took the chance. It wasn't easy. He struggled again, faced challenges, and even doubted himself at times. But this time, he was different. He didn't quit. He kept pushing forward, learning from every mistake, and improving every day. Then one morning, he received a message. He looked at it quietly, his heart beating fast. Slowly, he opened it. The first word he saw was "Congratulations." He froze for a moment, unable to believe it. After all the struggles, after all the doubt, he had finally done it. That small opportunity became his first success. It wasn't huge, but it was enough. Enough to prove that he was capable. Enough to show that he could change his life if he kept going. From that moment on, everything changed. Yusuf worked harder than ever before. He believed in himself more. He dreamed bigger, and step by step, he built a better future. Years later, Yusuf was no longer the lost boy standing at the side of the road. He had become someone strong, focused, and successful. And whenever people asked him how he did it, he always gave the same answer. It started with one decision. One decision to wake up early. One decision to stop making excuses. One decision to try again, even when it was hard. That's all it takes. Not a perfect plan. Not a perfect life. Just one decision. So if you feel lost right now, if you feel stuck, if you feel like it's too late, remember this story. Your life can change at any moment. All it takes is one decision, and that decision can change your life forever.